I joined rugby because my best friend in the whole entire world also played rugby, and she told me I would be really good at it, and I couldn't find a valid excuse not to do it anymore. So I started playing rugby.
I was like, maybe I'll join the hockey team. And I got to campus and I found out that they practiced at 4 in the morning, 3 days a week, and I am not a morning person, and I was like, that's not happening.
I was at Backyard Bash, I was wandering around, one of the people from rugby came up to me and she's like, hey, want to tackle bitches? And I was like, yes I do. That's how I joined rugby. What made me stay after the first practice for rugby, just the newness of it.
I think the aspect of the game that hooked me in the most was just how fully physical I could be in that environment.
Rugby is an intimidating sport, that's for sure. I stayed after the first practice because I love the girls on the team. It felt like a home, and it was not as intimidating as I expected it to be. It was such a welcoming group, and they were just full of laughter, and they were having fun and wanted to be there, and the sport came naturally to me, and it was just a fun place to be and fun people to be around.
There's a lot of great team chemistry whenever you're on a team, and then also playing for 2 different teams. Being able to play at 2 different levels with 2 different types of people is something fantastic to be able to do.
The camaraderie between different teams in rugby is phenomenal. You can go literally anywhere in the entire world and say that you're a rugger, and you're going to be instantly welcomed by any other ruggers. It's a culture that is supportive and welcoming and loving, and everybody will have your back no matter what.
You have people from other sports talking about, they made a friend here or a friend there. I'm, 10 years removed from that first year of playing rugby, and I can say that I've got at least 5 friends who I'm have been in their weddings or will be in their weddings who played for different teams.
So my experience with other teams has been really positive. We'll either have pizza with each other or some drinking if you're of age and hanging out that way.
My experience with the team environment, which again, having not played sports before college, was super formative, was that I found deep friendships not just on the team but with opposing teams, which I think is something that I don't know anybody who plays a different sport that had that experience be.
Yeah, I have a nephew who went there. He's on the dink.
My experience as a student athlete, it's been balanced. I learned time management pretty quickly. School definitely has to come first because that's why I'm in college and can be a student athlete.
I found that the club sport was a better fit for me personally. I appreciated the laid back and more of the relaxed atmosphere that the club sport provided compared to the varsity sport.
You've got practice a couple of days a week. It forces you to actually be outside and interacting with other human beings and not stuck in the library or a lab.
Being able to play rugby is a great way to get out the stress of college and being a student. I do think people should play sports in college, especially rugby if they're a little apprehensive. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I'm too small or too big or can't run or whatever reason they want to say, so they can't play sports. And with rugby, pretty much as long as you have a pulse, there's a place for you on the team.
If you are thinking instead about playing a club sport while in college and being academically successful, you are still going to have room to do other things too. And again, that sport can become the big balancing point. So you're not just locking yourself in the library all day, but you're going to practice and then locking yourself in the library all day.
1, 2, 3, where's Rugby?
Yeah, man. All 4. All 4. Ready? Rhino run! Yeah! Rhino run!